Next up, let's start talking about some of the relationships available in Eloquent. And of course, Eloquent is our database ORM, and relationships are an integral part of any relational database. So the first case we're going to handle is a one-to-one case. One-to-one case is a little bit rare. You don't get a lot of opportunity to use this. However, when you need to use it, it's definitely an important one to know. Now, the example that we're going to use today is a user has one phone. So that's what we're going to be writing in our code. So this is a fresh Laravel installation right now. I haven't done anything except set up our database. And right now, our database doesn't contain anything at all. All I did was migrate what comes with Laravel. Let's jump into our code and check out what I want to do. So if we open up app, of course, we have the user model. This one ships with Laravel. So I want to add a new model, and the model is going to be for a phone. So let's jump into the terminal and let's say PHP Artisan, make me a new model called phone and give me a migration. We're going to use the -m flag for that. And so it creates a migration and a model. All right, so back to PHP Storm. We have now this phone, and all I will do here is just set my fillable fields to an empty array. We've covered all of this before in the series, so this is just a very quick review. Now let's go to the create phones table, and let's create our table here. So what does it need? Well, for a phone, of course, we need a phone. We'll save that to a string, and we'll say phone. And for a one-to-one relationship, each record in the database needs to reference our user so we can make them connect. And we do that like so. We'll say table, unsigned integer, and then we reference the model. So the model that we're talking about is the user model. Now, naming convention in Laravel is that you will type the model name, say user, all lowercase, singular, underscore ID. If you follow that naming convention, then everything will work without you having to make a lot of changes. So user underscore ID, and then we can say, give me an index on that. And typically you're going to want to index any of the foreign keys, and that's it. We can close that line. Now, additionally, you might want to set up a foreign key. And so that's done in the following manner. So we'll say this table has a foreign key using the user underscore ID column. Now that column references. What does it reference? Well, it references the ID column on our users table. So that's going to set up a foreign key at the database level. So not only at the PHP level, but we're setting it up at the database level as well. So now let's hook all of this up. Each of these two models is going to need some sort of reference to each other. So let's start with the user. So we said that a user has one phone. So let's do that now. We'll say public function phone, and notice here this is singular for our model name, and we're simply going to return this has one, and of course, what does it have? It has a phone class, and that's it. Now to set up the inverse of this, let's go to the phone model, and in the phone model we'll say public function. So this phone has a user, so we'll say that as return this belongs to a user class. Does that make sense? So in our user model, of course, our user has one phone. And then in our phone, we'll say our phone belongs to the user. So just to clarify here, the table that has the reference, in this case, the user ID reference, is the one that gets the belongs to. Now, the table that you are referencing is the one that gets the hasOne method. So keep that in mind whenever you're setting up this relationship. All right, perfect. So let's put this to work. Let's go to my routes file, just as a quick playground, and let's delete all of this. And all I want to do is this. Let's say that we have a phone, and we'll do that by calling new app phone. So now we have this phone. Now the phone, let's go ahead and give them a phone of 123, 123, 1234. Great. So now, sure, you can do this. You can say phone, go ahead and explicitly pass in the user ID. But I don't really want to do that. What I want to do is I want to save through the relationship. And I'll show you how to do that. So to save through the relationship, let's do the following. Let's whip up a new user, and we'll say factory app user class create a user for us. All right, so create a new user for us and save it to a variable. And then down here we can say user, and then we can reference that phone relationship. So we'll say phone, and then save this phone that we just created. This will assign that user ID for us without us having to do it by ourselves. All right, so let's test this out in the browser. Let me jump to Chrome, and I'm just going to refresh this page. And it looks like we forgot to migrate our database. Let's do that now. PHP Artisan migrate. And we get some sort of error. I bet you I know what it is. Let's go back to our phones table. So this unsigned integer, Laravel in recent versions actually changed to big integer. So it needs to be unsigned big integer. That way it matches the size that potentially the user ID could actually be. Let's try that again then. PHP Artisan migrate. It says the phone already exists. So we actually need to run PHP Artisan migrate fresh. And there we go. So we're good to go. So we can go back, hit refresh on this page, and now that relationship should have been created for us. Let's check out Table Plus. Hit refresh. So we have these phones, and of course, we do have that user ID associated already with our phone. Let's jump back into the terminal and run Tinker. PHP Artisan Tinker. So let's do something. Let's grab our phone by just running app phone and give me the first one. So we have our phone. So how do we get the name of the user? We'll grab phone, and then we can get that user relationship. If we run it just like that, we get the entire app user. However, if we just want the name, then we can say user and then another arrow, and let's grab their name. And that's the name of that person. Now let's run the inverse. So if we have a user, let's grab our user, app user, and give me the first one. So we can grab the user's phone, and that's the relationship. There we go. And if you just wanted their phone number, then we can do the same thing, and we're going to have to put another one and just say phone. And there we are. Then we get the phone number for them. So that's how you retrieve and save. There is a shortcut for creating, so let me show you that now. PHP Storm, back to my web routes. So here's the shortcut. We have our user. Instead of doing all of that, you can actually say user and then grab that phone relationship, but this time we're going to put the parentheses. And then you can call it the create method, a lot like we've been doing before. So we can pass an array here and say phone. We'll just say 222, 333, 4567. Phone, not phone. Got it? All right, so let's try this one now. Let's go back to the browser. Just hit refresh. It says that we have a mass assignment issue in our phone. Looks like I forgot to set that. Let's fix that error. Back to my phone. We'll just say phone is fillable. Of course, you could also say guarded equals empty array instead. Both will do the same exact thing. All right, so let's go back, hit refresh, and there we go. So now if we go back to Table Plus, we should also have a second record, and we do have that user with ID of 3. And there it is. This is the user that is associated with that phone. So that's a nice little shortcut that you could do to create through a relationship. So whenever you want to create something, you can call the relationship on it. Notice that it does have the parentheses, and then you can call the create method on it. And then in this manner, of course, notice how the user ID is not actually being passed in. Laravel is taking care of doing that for us. So the last thing I want to do is I just want to push this up to GitHub. That way you guys can have access to this code. And right here, I have this repo set up. I'm going to hit refresh. And now you have this one-to-one branch that you can play with. And what you could do is you can compare between one and the other. And this will only show you the difference between the base layer and what we added to make this work. So it's a really nice and convenient way for you to see what I did with the code. So with that being said, that's one-to-one relationships in Laravel.